answer to last video's challenge question. At the end of last video, I gave you this position, and I also hinted that you would need knowledge on pawn breakthroughs to be able to solve this one. And I also said that it was relevant to past pawns. Now, there are actually many ways you can win in this position, but I believe the fastest is e6. After we play that, black has two sensible options, to play f6 or to take. So let's have him take first. Then here is the key move. If you did think of f6 but didn't play this next move, then it probably wouldn't work. The next move that you should play is h6. Now, why do you need to play this? Well, because you want to distract this pawn here on g7. Now, you will soon find out that distracting things is the topic of our video today, but this was not my intention. Anyways, he also has the decision to move forward or to take. Let's just say he moves forward. Then we play f6, forcing a promotion no matter what, after he takes and takes back. Now, if he had instead taken, then the same thing happens. Now, let's go back. What if, after e6, he had played f6? Well, turns out we play h6 anyways. Because after he takes, we take here. And can you see that this is a 2-on-1? And black has no choice but to let one of these pawns promote. After he takes, we play e7, and there's no way to stop white from promoting. Today, I will be talking about removing the defender and decoys. I will give 2 examples of each of them, and as always, I will be giving you an end of video challenge question. The definition of removing the defender is exactly as the name suggests. Removing the defender is when there is a piece or square that you really want to go to, but one of your opponent's pieces is defending that square. For example, in this position, we really want to win this rook on a1, but the problem is the queen on h8 is defending it. If we take right now, black can take back on a1 with check. Now, if only there was a way to remove it. And yes, there is a way. Our queen on h1 can take his queen on h8. And after black takes back, we can take this rook on a1. Notice when we took, the queen is no longer there, so this rook has no more defense. And after he takes back, we can take the rook. Now, you have to be careful when you're doing these remove defenders. For example, because usually you have to make it check, or you have to make sure your opponent doesn't have an in-between move. For example, if this king wasn't on g8 but on a square like d5, and this knight was instead on g6, then taking the queen on h8 wouldn't work, as it is no longer check. Black doesn't have to take the queen back, right? Doesn't have to take the queen back. Black can play an in-between move, rook takes b1, and after we move out of check, he can take our queen. But in this case, it works perfectly fine, as black has no other choice but to take the queen. Now, I will be giving you another example of removing the defender. This time, I will let you find the winning move. Now, at first glance, this position might look really messy, but all you really need to do is break it down. So, let's see. We have a rook on c8 here, which is pinning this bishop to the king. We have a bishop here, which is attacking this knight, and we have a bishop here defending this knight. And if you look deeply into the position, you can see that this knight is defending the c7 square, which if our knight could freely take, then it'd be a fork of the king and the rook. So, when we evaluated, we saw that this bishop on h3 could take this knight. So if you put 2 and 2 together, what do? Well, it's pretty obvious. We just take this knight on e6, removing the defender. Now he has no way of defending this square without giving material. If he plays a move like knight to a6, well, we've just won a bishop for free, haven't we? And yeah, he's just letting his rook get captured, and his bishop can't take as it's pinned. Now, his best move right now is probably to take with the pawn, as can you see what happens if he takes with the rook? I hope that you found that we could take here on c7, and after forcing him to f8, we take this bishop with checkmate. So after he takes, we get a free rook. Now, I will be giving you 2 examples of decoys. A decoy is when you distract a piece that's defending another piece away. For example, in this position, the queens on the d file are staring at each other. And we see it is white's move, and can you see that only the black king is defending the queen? So, if only there was a way to distract the king away. Now, there is actually one way. And this is with bishop takes f7 check. Now, we can see that he is forced to take, and after he does so, the king is no longer defending the queen, because we distracted it away. Now, we can freely take the queen. I will be giving you another example of a decoy, and I will be letting you do it next. I will be letting you do it. In this position, the queens are also staring at each other. And we can see that only the black knight on f6 is defending it. So, I can sense a decoy coming. So, I want you to tell me what happens after white takes the queen on d5. I hope that you saw that if black took the queen, then we can play rook takes h7 checkmate. This is because of the fact that the bishop on c2 is protecting the rook. Now, instead, if black had not taken the queen and played a move like h6, which would not let white checkmate even if black moved, then white has time to get away. A move like queen takes f7 would be perfectly fine. Now, you might realize that there isn't much difference between removing the defender and decoys. Well, the key difference is that removing the defender is directly capturing the piece that is defending the square or piece that you want to get to, whereas decoy is where you lure the piece that's defending it away from the square it's on. Now I will be giving you the end of video challenge question, which as always will be resolved in the next video. Here is the end of video challenge question. Now it looks like white can take this knight on d5, as if black takes back with his queen, then white can simply play knight takes c7 check, which is a fork of the king and the queen. Now I want you to tell me what's wrong with playing queen takes d5 and what move you should play instead. That's it for today, and thank you for your time. If you enjoyed the content, please consider to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Thank you.